Hello everybody and thanks for joining me. Today I'm tying this crippled emerger pattern using only really 4 main ingredients. The hook is a size 12 dry fly hook, this one's from Partridge, and the thread I'm using is UTC 70 in red. For the tail I'm using some light Pardo Coq de Leon, and this is the real deal stuff all the way from Spain, beautiful glossy fibres. For the body I'm using some stripped natural peacock quill, but I'll talk about some alternatives later. To make the thorax and the wing buds and the wing, I'm using some bleached deer hair. This is a really nice bit with straight hair from Nature's Spirit. And the hackle I'm using on this flies from Whiting. This is grizzly dyed March brown. And look at the length and the straightness of those feathers, even on these base pro-grade saddles. So with a little sneak peek close up of the finished fly, let's secure our hook in the vise. Like I said, I'm using a size 12 hook, but you can tie this from size 16 all the way up to about size 10. I'm casting on my thread a little bit back from the hook eye, save some space for later, and I'm running it down the length of the hook shank, stopping about where the barb would be. Here I've got a pinch of those nice straight Coq de Leon fibres, and this is really lovely material to work with. Beautiful straight feathers, very stiff and springy, and they've got this fantastic gloss to them. The light Pardos, this mixture of black and white and brown. I've used some open turns to tie down those tails the length of the hook shank, and I've trimmed away the excess. Just going to spin my thread flat and secure down those butt ends. The next material to tie in is going to be the peacock herl. I'm going to secure that in with the dark edge of the herl pointing upwards, and that way when I wrap it the dark edge will be pointing towards the tail, which helps to build up a more pronounced segmented effect. Now I've used peacock herl for this fly, but you can substitute in pretty much anything. You can do a dubbed body with a rib, you can do moose mane for a nice banded effect, you can do peccary hair. Really the variety is up to yourself. And of course you can change up the hackle colours and change up the deer hair colours to match your hatch. I've taken a bit of time to build up a carrot shaped body, just a little bit of a taper coming up towards the thorax. And here I'm using my hackle pliers and we're going to start wrapping that quill. These hackle pliers are from Cottarelli. They're quite expensive, but they really do work well. They've got a lovely firm grip and you can adjust them. I'm using the rotary function on my vise to wrap the herl. I find that this is a bit easier for me. It helps to prevent the herl from twisting. You just have to be very careful not to catch it on the hook. Herl's quite fragile, and if you nick it, it has a habit of splitting, and then you have to start all over again on the body. I've taken that down the length of the body up to the thorax, and I'm going to make a couple of tight wraps over the top to secure everything down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's not really enough herl left at the butt for me to just tear it away like I normally would, so I'm going to come in with my scissors and trim away the excess. Now the herl's quite fragile, like I said, so it does pay to add a little bit of varnish or even a thin coat of UV resin to the body of these flies. It both helps to saturate the colour, and you can see that as soon as I put the varnish on, it gets this lovely glossy, rich colour to it, but it also helps just to waterproof it and also to secure it down. Otherwise, if a fish bites it, it can split the herl with its teeth and then the whole body unravels. So it's worth taking a couple of minutes just to do that for each fly. Here I've taken length of my deer hair, which I've stacked point down. I've made 2 loose turns which I've then drawn down tight, and that's going to help to secure it on top of the hook shank. Now this is going to want to spin and it's going to want to get away from you, so do not let go. You can see my left hand, I'm holding on to it as I work my thread back down the length of the thorax. Even once I've finished, do not let go, otherwise it'll splay out into a big mess and you're going to have a real horrible time trying to do those wing buds. I've made a single confident cut all the way across those butts, and that's left me with a nice wing bud profile. This of course represents a fly that's struggling to emerge from its nymphal shuck, and it's easy pickings for the trout, so it's well worth doing if there's a big hatch going on. Here I've tied in my hackle. I've stripped a few barbs off the base so I've got a firm bit of stem to tie in. I'm just going to wrap that in touching turns forward, building up a nice bushy hackle between the wing buds and that protruding wing. The hackle will help to hold the wing forward in the correct position as well. And to secure it down, I've made 1 turn over, and then I'm going to draw the wing back, and on that little bit of spare hook that we left behind the hook eye, I'm going to make a few more tight turns to really secure down that hackle. That's everything tied in. So now I'm going to come in with my whip finisher and just build up a little bit of a head under the fly whilst I secure everything down. And again, that's going to help to prop that wing up and secure down the thread and secure down the feather. So you can see I'm drawing everything back, doing a 4 or 5 turn whip finish, drawing tight, and then for safety's sake, I'll do a second. That's the fly finished, so I'm going to come in with my scissors and trim away the hackle. There we go, and I'm going to come in with my scissors again and trim away the thread. And here's the finished fly after a little bit of cleanup. You can see that body's visible from underneath. You get the nice profile of the wing buds, the silhouette, and that wing protruding forward really helps to mimic a fly that's struggling to emerge. Thanks for watching. Do give this one a go. It's a very adaptable pattern. I'll catch you next time.